Imagine holding a small silver-colored coin in your hand, a coin that to many may appear ordinary and common, yet within its metal surface lies a story of heritage, identity, politics, economy, and the ever-evolving journey of a nation. This is not just a coin. This is the 1 Piso coin of the Philippines from the year 2012, a piece that carries not only the symbol of its people, but also the enduring mark of change, transition, and national pride. And in this story, we will unlock its history, design, significance, production, and the legacy it continues to leave behind. The 1 Piso coin of 2012 belongs to a series known as the New Generation Currency Series, which was introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to modernize the coinage of the Philippines and strengthen its national identity. The 2012 issue stands as a part of a wider currency reform that began in 2011 when the BSP launched a new family of coins and banknotes designed to combat counterfeiting and represent the progress of the nation. This particular coin represents one of the most used denominations in the Philippines and has traveled through countless hands markets, schools, transport systems, and everyday lives, carrying with it the silent voice of a country moving forward. The obverse side of the 1 Piso 2012 coin features the portrait of Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines. Rizal was a nationalist, a writer, a revolutionary thinker whose works inspired Filipinos to seek freedom from Spanish colonial rule. His portrait symbolizes bravery, intellect, and patriotism. The inclusion of Rizal on the coin is a reminder of his legacy and his place as one of the central figures in Philippine history. Alongside the portrait, the inscription reads Republika ng Pilipinas, and the year of minting 2012 proudly placed as a mark of national identity. On the reverse side of the 1 Piso 2012 coin, the design showcases the logo of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, which symbolizes financial stability and authority. The logo emphasizes the role of the central bank in safeguarding the currency economy and monetary policies of the Philippines. This coin does not only circulate as a medium of exchange, but also as a representation of the strength and credibility of the nation's financial system. The metal composition of the coin is nickel-plated steel, giving it a silvery appearance that is resistant to wear and circulation damage. This change in material from older coins was part of the BSP's effort to ensure durability and cost-effectiveness in minting, since coins undergo massive usage in daily life. Compared to banknotes, the choice of nickel-plated steel also represented a modernization approach, aligning the Philippine coinage with international standards of minting during that era. The 2012 coin was minted at the security plant complex of the BSP located in Quezon City. This complex is where the Philippines produces its own coins, a source of national pride and a step toward self-sufficiency. In currency production, in earlier years, coins were often minted abroad, but with the establishment of local facilities, the nation secured its ability to manage coinage production internally, ensuring consistency, security, and efficiency. The release of the new generation 1 Piso coin was not without controversy. Many citizens compared it to the 5 Peso coin, noting similarities in size and color that often caused confusion in transactions. This sparked debates on coin design practicality and the need for clearer distinctions between denominations. However, despite criticism, the coin continued to circulate widely and by 2012 had become a staple in the wallets, pockets, and cash registers of Filipinos across the archipelago. The historical importance of the 2012 1 Piso coin also lies in its placement in the timeline of Philippine numismatics. The Philippines has undergone several monetary transformations, from the Spanish colonial reales and pesos to the American-era coinage, the Japanese occupation currency, the independence-era coins, and finally the modern series, The 1 Piso coin serves as a bridge between the older BSP series known as the BSP coin series introduced in 1995 and the newer enhanced NGC series that followed. In 2018, thus, the 2012 issue stands as a snapshot of a transitional period in Philippine currency. Beyond economics, the coin carries cultural value. It is a reflection of how the Philippines honors its heroes and institutions by engraving them into daily life. Every person handling the coin is reminded of Rizal's enduring presence and the nation's journey toward progress. The physical coin becomes a teaching tool, a living history lesson, and a silent witness to the struggles and triumphs of its people. Collectors often pay special attention to the 2012 1 Piso coin because of its role in the early years of the new generation currency series. While it may not be rare in circulation, its significance comes from its placement in modern Philippine coinage history. Numismatists study varieties, errors, and mint marks, searching for unique pieces that may increase in value over time. Even a common coin can become a prized collectible when its story is understood and appreciated. The design of the 1 Piso 2012 coin was the result of careful planning by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, working with designers, historians, and technical experts. The goal was to create a coin that balanced durability, national symbolism, and practicality. The simplicity of Rizal's portrait combined with the central bank logo reflects a design language that is clean, modern, and functional. While carrying deep meaning, the emphasis was not on luxury or intricate art, but on accessibility and identity. As the 2012 coin circulated, it played a vital role in everyday Philippine life, from jeepney fares to sari-sari store purchases, from school canteen snacks to supermarket transactions. It became an inseparable part of the rhythm of daily living coins. Like the 1 Piso may seem small and insignificant, but they are the lifeblood of microtransactions, enabling economies to function at the grassroots level. The coin also became a topic of discussion when the BSP announced plans for future redesigns that would later lead to the enhanced NGC coin series launched in 2018, which changed the look, feel, and composition of Philippine coins. Thus, the 2012 1 Piso coin stands as one of the last representations of its kind before further modern adjustments were implemented, making it both historically important and numismatically memorable. When we look deeper into its value, we realize that a coin is never just about its face value of 1 Piso. It is about trust in a nation's economy. It is about the identity of a people. It is about continuity in history. And above all, it is about the connection between past, present, and future. The 1 Piso 2012 coin symbolizes all these elements in one small yet powerful piece of metal. So the next time you see or hold a 1 Piso coin from 2012, take a moment to appreciate the story. It tells it is more than just change. It is a symbol of change. It is the face of a hero, the emblem of a central institution, the product of national industry, and the companion of millions of Filipinos in their daily lives. Its history is living history, and its legacy continues with every exchange, every pocket, every hand that touches it. Imagine holding in your hand a small piece of metal that millions of people touch every single day without ever realizing the stories it carries. Imagine a coin so ordinary that it is often overlooked, yet it represents centuries of struggle, identity, change, economy, and national pride. This is not just a coin, it is the 1 Piso 2015 of the Philippines. A coin that tells us about heroes, about history, about politics, about economy, and about the journey of an entire nation through a simple round piece of metal. The 1 Piso coin of the Philippines from 2015 belongs to the new generation currency coin series, introduced by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas as part of a major modernization and standardization of Philippine coins. This was not a sudden decision, but rather the result of years of research, planning, and economic considerations. Coins in the Philippines have long been a reflection of the country's colonial past, its independence, its struggles with inflation, and its efforts to unify. A complex cultural and political identity, the 1 Piso 2015 coin became one of the most discussed coins of its time, not only because of its design, but also because of its symbolism circulation and the controversies it sparked. To understand the 1 Piso coin of 2015, we must first trace back the origins of Philippine coinage, long before Spanish colonization. Filipinos were already using barter trade with gold piloncitos, which were tiny bead-like coins and barter rings made from gold. When the Spanish arrived in the 16th century, they introduced Mexican reales, which circulated for hundreds of years. The Spanish colonial period marked the introduction of standardized coins that tied the local economy to global trade routes, especially the Manila galleon trade linking Asia to the Americas. After Spanish rule, the Americans arrived and introduced the peso currency system aligned with the U.S. dollar. 1 peso equaled 50 cents in U.S. terms. After World War II and independence, the Philippines regained control of its own currency, but the peso had to undergo constant changes due to economic instability. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas created several coin series over the decades, each one trying to balance national identity with practical needs. The English series came after independence. The Filipino series in the 1960s highlighted the shift to the national language. The Ang Bagong Lipunan series in the 1970s reflected the political climate under Ferdinand Marcos, and then the BSP series of the 1990s modernized coins once more. However, by the 2000s, it became clear that Philippine coins needed a redesign that would enhance security durability and national symbolism. This led to the birth of the new generation currency coin series. The 1 Piso coin of 2015 became the first widely circulated coin of this new generation series. It was minted in nickel-plated steel, giving it a silvery appearance, which made it more durable and resistant to corrosion compared to older versions. The obverse of the coin features Andres Bonifacio, the great plebeian known as the father of the Philippine Revolution against Spanish rule. His image is striking as he wears his traditional attire with a resolute expression representing bravery, leadership, and the common man rising against colonial power. This design choice was deliberate because previous Piso coins had featured heroes like Jose Rizal, but shifting to Bonifacio in 2015 marked a new emphasis on revolutionary leadership. The reverse of the 2015 1 Piso coin features the waling, an orchid species considered one of the most beautiful flowers in the Philippines, symbolizing natural heritage alongside the BSP logo and the denomination. The decision to include flora alongside national heroes was part of the BSP's effort to balance culture, economy, and environment in coin design. The edge of the coin is plain, making it simpler compared to some earlier issues, which had reeded edges. This was done to reduce production costs while maintaining functionality. When it entered circulation, the 1 Piso 2015 coin was met with controversy because it closely resembled the 5 Piso coin in size, weight, and color. This caused confusion in markets, transportation fairs, and vending machines. People often mixed them up, and some businesses faced losses because of mistaken transactions. The public reaction was loud, with many complaining to the BSP, which eventually acknowledged the issue and promised clearer distinctions in future coin issues. Despite this, the coin remained in heavy circulation and became one of the most used coins in the nation. Beyond its everyday use, the 1 Piso 2015 coin represents deeper themes. It shows how money is not only a medium of exchange, but also a carrier of memory and national identity. Bonifacio on the coin reminds Filipinos of the sacrifices of the revolution, while the orchid reflects natural beauty and biodiversity. The use of steel reflects the global trend of cost efficiency in minting, and the controversy highlights the challenges of balancing practicality with tradition and public acceptance. Collectors view the 2015 1 Piso as historically important because it marked the transition from the older BSP series to the new generation. Series, though, it is not rare in terms of mintage. It holds significance as the first issue of its series, and because of the widespread confusion it caused, which itself became part of its story, minting errors, if any occurred in this year, would make those pieces even more valuable to numismatists. Over time, the 1 Piso 2015 coin will likely be studied as a case of coin design success and failure success because it modernized Philippine coinage and highlighted national heroes and flora. Failure, because it did not properly differentiate itself from the 5 Piso coin, leading to massive public confusion. Yet this dual legacy makes it more fascinating because coins are not just pieces of metal. They are tools of daily life subject to human behavior, economics, and even politics. To stretch this into a detailed 2-hour narrative, you would dive into the biography of Andres Bonifacio, his role in founding the Katipunan, his leadership, his conflicts with Emilio Aguinaldo, and his tragic death, all of which add depth to why his image was chosen for the coin. You would also explore the history of Philippine orchids and the cultural importance of the whaling. You would analyze the evolution of the Philippine peso over centuries, from gold barter to Spanish reals to American pesos to modern coins. You would cover the minting process of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the materials used, the challenges of counterfeiting, and the decision-making behind coin redesign. You would highlight the public controversies through interviews, news clippings, and social media reactions, showing how a single coin can disrupt everyday life, and you would finally conclude with the importance of coinage as both a tool and a mirror of society. Thus, the 1 Piso 2015 coin is not just a small piece of metal. It is history, revolution, economy, culture, controversy, and national pride in your pocket. And every time someone hands you this coin, they are handing you centuries of struggle, beauty, and identity, compressed into 1 Piso. To understand its place, we must travel back to the earliest days of money in the archipelago before colonization. Ancient Filipinos were using barter rings and piloncitos made of pure gold. As a form of exchange, these small, rounded beads are considered the first true coins of the Philippines, and they symbolize the wealth of the islands and the advanced trading system long before Spanish ships arrived. When Spain conquered the Philippines in the 1500s. The economy was reshaped by the galleon trade linking Manila and Acapulco for more than 200 years. Spanish reales and Mexican pesos became the dominant currency, creating a dependence on imported silver coins. Filipinos became familiar with foreign coinage, but also longed for their own. When the Americans came in 1898, after the Spanish-American War, they replaced the old system with a new peso that was tied to the U.S. dollar. The Philippine peso was given equal value to half a U.S. dollar, and coins were minted in San Francisco, Philadelphia, and Manila with designs featuring allegorical figures and national imagery. After independence in 1946, the Philippines began reclaiming control of its money, and the Central Bank of the Philippines, later transformed into the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, took responsibility for creating coinage. Each redesign reflected both cultural pride and political climates. By the 1960s, the Filipino series emphasized nationalism and the Filipino language. By the 1970s, the Ang Bagong Lipunan series reflected Marcos-era propaganda slogans. By the 1990s, the BSP series simplified designs for practicality, but by the early 2000s, many problems appeared. Coins were inconsistent in size, shape, and weight. They were easy to confuse in vending machines, and they did not fully represent the cultural richness of the nation. This is why the BSP launched the New Generation Currency Coin series, which included the 1 Piso 2015. The coin itself carries enormous symbolic weight. On the obverse, we find Andres Bonifacio, born in Tondo, Manila in 1863, the great plebeian who founded the Katipunan secret society and led the first phase of the Philippine Revolution against Spain. Unlike Jose Rizal, who wielded the pen, Bonifacio carried the bolo, symbolizing the fight of the common man against colonial oppression. His inclusion on the worn Piso 2015 was deliberate, a recognition that the revolution he sparked laid the foundation for independence, placing him. On the coin also elevated his memory, giving daily wage earners, jeepney drivers, students, vendors, and ordinary citizens a piece of Bonifacio's spirit. Each time they held the coin. On the reverse, the coin shows the wailing orchid, known scientifically as Vanda sanderiana, considered the queen of Philippine orchids found in Mindanao. This flower is valued not only for its beauty, but also for its rarity. What if I told you that a single coin in your pocket could carry the entire story of a nation, its leaders, its struggles, and its hopes for the future? Today, we are going to uncover the professional and detailed history of the Piso coin from the year 2010, a coin that may look ordinary at first glance, but in reality holds the legacy of centuries of Philippine culture, politics, economics, and identity. The worn Piso 2010 coin of the Philippines is part of a fascinating chapter in the country's numismatic history, and it deserves a close look because every aspect of its creation, from the design to the material to the symbolism, represents more than just a monetary value. It represents a story of the Filipino people at the start of the second decade of the 21st century. The 2010 1 Piso coin belonged to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas (BSP) coinage series, introduced in 1995, which was officially called the new BSP series. This series replaced the previous Flora and Fauna series, and it stayed in circulation for over 2 decades, until it was eventually replaced by the New Generation Currency Coin series in 2018. The 2010 issue was therefore situated in the mature period of this coinage program, and it is important to understand why it looked the way it did, why it was minted in large numbers, and what cultural and economic role it played. The obverse or front side of the 1 Piso 2010 coin features the portrait of Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, who symbolizes education, freedom, and reform. Rizal was chosen for the 1 peso denomination in the new BSP series because his legacy remains central to the Filipino identity. He was not a soldier nor a politician, but a writer and reformist whose works like Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo inspired the revolution against Spanish colonial rule. The placement of Rizal on the 1 Piso coin signifies his accessibility to every Filipino, since the 1 Piso is one of the most common and widely used coins in everyday life. In 2010, his image continued to remind millions of people about patriotism and the pursuit of progress through knowledge. The reverse or backside of the 1 Piso 2010 coin carries the logo of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. With the year of minting prominently displayed, the BSP logo is itself full of symbolism, featuring a stylized eagle, a sun, and a star, which represent strength, independence, and the guiding light of the nation. The 2010 coin, therefore, not only paid tribute to Rizal, but also reaffirmed the authority of the central bank in maintaining monetary stability and trust in the Philippine financial system. The year 2010 is especially interesting because it marked the transition between 2 Philippine presidencies. Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was leaving office and Benigno Aquino III was elected that year. This political backdrop influenced the circulation of coins and banknotes, as new governments often push for changes in the symbols of money to reflect their vision. Although the design of the 1 Piso did not change in 2010, the minting continued strongly as the demand for small denominations remained high. From a technical perspective, the 1 Piso 2010 coin was struck in nickel-plated steel, giving it a silvery appearance. This composition was chosen by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in the mid-1990s to balance cost, durability, and resistance to counterfeiting. Nickel plating provides corrosion resistance, ensuring the coins can survive. In circulation for many years, the diameter of the coin is 24 millimeters with a weight of around 535 grams, and it has a reeded edge. The choice of dimensions and weight was consistent with international standards and was intended to make the coin both durable and easily recognizable by touch, which is important for everyday transactions. The circulation of the 1 peso 2010 coin was massive because in the Philippines, the 1 peso denomination plays a critical role in retail trade public. Transportation and daily exchanges, jeepney fares, market prices, and small purchases all often require 1 peso coins. The BSP therefore ensured that the minting numbers were high enough to meet demand. This is why collectors today often find the 2010 issue to be very common. But that does not make it less interesting. In fact, the wide circulation means that nearly every Filipino who lived in that time period carried or handled this exact coin at some point, making it a true witness of the lives of millions. Historically, the 1 peso coin has evolved from Spanish colonial times when the peso was first introduced as the peso fuerte under the Spanish-Philippine real system in the 19th century, through American colonization, when the peso was tied to the U.S. dollar, and into independence, when the Philippine peso became the sovereign currency of the nation. By 2010, the 1 peso coin represented stability. After years of inflation crises and reforms in the 20th century, the continued use of Rizal's image shows how the country values historical continuity, even as it adapts to the challenges of modernity. Another important detail about the 2010 1 peso coin is how it fit into the broader new BSP coin series. This series included coins from 1 centimo up to 10 peso each denomination, highlighting key Filipino heroes' symbols or values. The 1 peso coin with Jose Rizal occupied the central position because it was the most used coin in daily transactions, and Rizal himself represented enlightenment, education, and sacrifice. The decision to keep Rizal on the 1 peso coin from 1995 through 2017 reflects the deep cultural attachment to him as a national symbol. Collectors often analyze coins not only by design and mintage, but also by variations and minting errors. In the case of the 2010 1 peso, there are reports of minor errors such as off-centered strikes or slightly misaligned dies. Although these are rare, they can increase the value of individual coins for numismatists. However, for most people, the value of the 2010 coin remained its face value. Since billions were produced, the sheer scale of production shows the importance of coins in the cash economy of the Philippines in the years before the rise of digital payments economically. The role of the 1 peso coin in 2010 was connected to the overall inflation rate and purchasing power of the Philippine peso. While 1 peso could not buy as much as it did decades earlier, it still retained importance because many prices were structured to end in whole pesos or even exact peso amounts. The persistence of the 1 peso coin in the economy reflected the gradual pace of monetary evolution, as opposed to sudden demonetization or radical reforms that some other countries experienced. The BSP maintained the 1 peso because it was practical, essential, and tied to the habits of daily life. Culturally, the 1 peso coin was also a symbol of discipline and respect. Children were often taught to save using peso coins. In piggy banks, and families associated the coin with small but meaningful acts of thriftiness. Rizal's presence on the coin reinforced the idea that even small contributions can add up to national progress. His life was about sacrifice and education, and placing him on the smallest but most circulated coin created a symbolic message for every Filipino to embrace. By 2010, discussions were already emerging about the need for a new coin series because of counterfeiting problems, confusion in coin sizes, and the need for modernized designs. But the 1 peso coin continued to circulate until 2017, when the new BSP coin series was retired and replaced in 2018 with the new generation currency coin series. In the new series, Rizal was moved to the 5 Piso denomination, and the 1 peso received a new design featuring the stylized Philippine flag, symbolizing a shift in how the nation presented itself to its people and the world. The 2010 issue therefore represents one of the last years in which Rizal remained on the 1 peso coin before being shifted to a higher denomination. For collectors today, the 1 peso 2010 coin may not be rare, but it is historically significant. It represents a bridge between two eras, the long-running new BSP series of the 1990s and 2000s and the modernized series of the late 2010s. It represents continuity and change. It represents tradition and modernization. And above all, it represents the story of how a small, round piece of metal can tell the big story of a nation. Imagine holding in your hand a small coin that carries with it the weight of a nation's story, a coin that looks simple, yet it reflects deep history, politics, economics, and culture. This is the 1 peso coin of 2007, a piece that may appear ordinary to the casual observer, but to collectors, enthusiasts, and historians, it is a fascinating window into the evolving identity of the Philippines, and the story of how money not only serves as a medium of exchange, but also as a living testimony of national pride and transformation. The 1 peso coin of 2007 is not just currency, it is a mirror of the Filipino spirit, and when you look deeper into its background, you begin to uncover the journey of a nation in transition to understand the 1 peso coin of 2007. We must first step back into the broader history of Philippine coinage. Since the early Spanish colonial period, coins have been more than mere instruments of trade. They were tools of power, they symbolized authority, and they carried designs that reflected who controlled the archipelago from Spanish reals to American era, pesos, and eventually the independent coinage of the Republic. Every redesign carried meaning. By the time we reach the 21st century, the Bangko Sentral, ng Pilipinas, also known as BSP, had long been tasked with designing, producing, and regulating coinage to reflect both national heritage and economic functionality. The introduction of the 2007 1 peso coin is tied to these principles. The 2007 1 peso coin belongs to the new BSP series, which began circulation in 1995. This series replaced the earlier Flora and Fauna series and was meant to simplify coin designs while emphasizing national heroes and symbols of independence. By the mid-2000s, the Philippines was pushing forward modern economic reforms, battling inflation, and seeking to reinforce a stronger national identity through its currency. It was in this climate that the 1 peso coin of 2007 emerged, continuing a design that had been in place since 1995, but minted with new production years and new circulation needs. On the obverse side of the 1 peso coin, we find the bust of Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines. Rizal was not chosen randomly. His presence on the 1 peso coin carries profound symbolism. He represents intellectual courage, reformist spirit, and the quest for freedom. His writings, Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, sparked the flames of revolution against Spanish colonial rule, placing him on the most widely used coin in the Philippines. Was a decision that aligned the daily act of spending money with a constant reminder of national sacrifice and enlightenment. Beneath his portrait, we find his name, Jose Rizal, etched clearly, and above him the issuing authority, Republica ng Pilipinas, along with the year of minting. In this case, 2007. Flipping to the reverse side, we see the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, a logo that embodies financial stability and economic guardianship. Surrounding the seal is the text, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. This design choice highlighted the role of the central bank as the institution responsible for monetary authority. It reinforced the credibility of Philippine coinage in both domestic and international perspectives. The coin was circular in shape with a plain edge. Its metallic composition was made of nickel-plated steel, giving it a silvery appearance. This material was chosen for durability, cost efficiency, and resistance to corrosion, ensuring long circulation life. The 1 peso coin of 2007 entered circulation at a time when inflation in the Philippines had made lower denominations like the 5 centimo and 10 centimo coins nearly obsolete. The 1 peso became one of the most practical and widely used coins in daily transactions, from jeepney fares to market purchases, from vending machines to banking operations. The 1 peso coin was in every hand and pocket across the country. This high circulation made it one of the most recognized symbols of Philippine currency collectors. Often point out that while the 2007 1 peso coin follows the same design as its 1995 to 2017 counterparts, what makes it significant is its place in the broader narrative of Philippine economic history. It stands as one of the later issues before the BSP introduced the new generation currency coin series in 2018, which completely redesigned Philippine coins, removing heroes in favor of native flora and simplifying coin size and weight. The 2007 1 peso thus belongs to the last full decade of the Rizal design, making it a historical bridge between two eras of Philippine coinage. Another key detail lies in mintage figures. While the BSP did not always release exact public data, on yearly mintage numbers, estimates suggest that millions of these coins were produced in 2007 to meet public demand. This widespread circulation makes the coin common, but its importance is not diminished. Common coins often carry the most cultural weight because they pass through the hands of millions every day, carrying with them silent stories of trade, livelihood, and survival. From a numismatic perspective, the 1 peso coin of 2007 presents both ordinary and special features. Ordinary, because it was mass-produced for regular circulation. Special, because it represents a turning point in modern coinage. Collectors often note variations in strike quality, luster, and wear, especially when comparing circulated versus uncirculated pieces. Mint state examples can carry a modest premium, while circulated coins remain primarily of sentimental and historical value rather than monetary worth. To fully appreciate the 2007 1 peso coin, we must also consider its socio-economic context. During this time, the Philippines was experiencing growth in certain sectors like business process, outsourcing, remittances from overseas, Filipino workers, and infrastructure development. Yet it also faced challenges in poverty, reduction, inflation, and governance. The 1 peso coin was a silent witness to these realities. It changed hands in markets, offices, schools, and public transport every day, reflecting the rhythm of Philippine life in 2007. The design of the coin also carried forward an educational purpose. Younger generations handling the 1 peso were constantly reminded of Jose Rizal, his role in history, and the values he represented in this way. The coin functioned almost like a miniature history book in metal, form an object that both served the economy and reinforced identity. As we stretch further into the details of this coin, we realize that even though it might seem small, it actually connects us to deep questions about what money means, how nations choose symbols to represent themselves, and how everyday objects carry extraordinary weight. The 1 peso coin of 2007 is not rare. It is not gilded in gold or silver. It is not reserved for kings or elites. It is a coin of the people and for the people. Yet that is precisely why it is powerful. Its story is democratic. Its value lies in its ubiquity and its reminder that national pride can be found in the smallest things. When we compare the 2007 issue to earlier years of the same series, we see consistency in design, but subtle differences in mintage quality and circulation, where later years would continue this pattern until the eventual discontinuation of the series. This consistency tells us about the stability and practicality of coin production. At the time, it also reflects the balance between tradition and cost efficiency in monetary policy. In the long journey of Philippine coinage, the 1 peso coin of 2007 stands as a middle chapter. Not the beginning, not the end, but a crucial part of the flow. A chapter that captures a decade of stability before sweeping changes arrived. It is a coin that may not scream rarity, but whispers endurance. It may not fetch astronomical auction prices, but it tells the honest story of a nation in 2007, one that was striving, building, and evolving, and through its presence in millions of hands, it became a silent companion to the daily struggles and victories of the Filipino people. Imagine holding in your hand a small circular piece of metal that at first glance may look like just another coin, but behind its plain surface lies a story of history, economy, politics, and national pride. The 1 peso coin of 1995 from the Philippines is not just money, it is a reflection of a country in transition, a nation redefining its identity and its place in the world. In the mid-1990s, the Philippines was undergoing massive economic and social change, and the coins minted during this period became silent witnesses to that transformation. The 1 peso coin in particular carried with it a weight of symbolism, as it was the most circulated and most commonly used denomination among the people, making it both a practical tool of trade and a cultural artifact worth studying in great depth. When we look at the 1995 1 peso coin, we begin with its design. The obverse features the profile of Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, whose life and sacrifice continue to inspire millions. His portrait on the coin is not just decorative, it is a deliberate reminder of national identity and independence. Rizal symbolizes education, reform, and freedom, and by placing his image on the coin, the government ensured that every Filipino would be reminded of these values every time they used money. The year 1995 inscribed below marked its specific minting period, connecting it directly to that moment in Philippine history. Turning to the reverse side, the coin shows the seal of the Bangko, Sentral ng Pilipinas, the Central Bank of the Philippines, which by 1993 had undergone a major reorganization, replacing the old central bank established in 1949. This change was monumental because it symbolized economic modernization, financial independence, and a renewed sense of stability. The BSP seal on the 1 peso coin was an assertion of authority and a declaration that the Philippine monetary system was adapting to new realities of the global economy. The material composition of the 1995 1 peso coin is also crucial. It was made of nickel-plated steel, giving it both durability and a distinct silvery color. Earlier versions of the peso coin were produced in copper-nickel, but shifting to nickel-plated steel reduced production costs while maintaining circulation longevity. This seemingly small decision reflected larger economic strategies of resource efficiency and financial pragmatism. The size and weight were carefully chosen, as well being smaller and lighter than older peso coins, signaling a gradual transition in Philippine coinage design toward compactness and efficiency. But what makes the 1995 1 peso coin historically significant is not only its design or composition, but its timing. The mid-1990s in the Philippines marked a period of reform under President Fidel V. Ramos. His administration emphasized economic liberalization, infrastructural development, and greater integration with global markets. Coins produced during this time were used daily in countless transactions. In wet markets, jeepneys, sari-sari stores, and urban centers, making them deeply embedded in everyday life, the 1995 1 peso coin became part of millions of small but vital exchanges, contributing to the pulse of Philippine economic activity. Collectors and numismatists value this coin because it sits at a unique point in Philippine coinage history. The 1995 issue belongs to the New Design series, which began in 1983 and continued until the early 2000s before being replaced by newer series, the New design series introduced consistency and modernity across denominations, and the 1995 1 Piso is a key example of this modernization effort. Its mass circulation means it is not particularly rare in basic condition, but high-quality specimens. Uncirculated or proof-like versions hold significant value for collectors, especially as the series becomes older and scarcer. Another important factor is the historical connection between the 1995 coin and the larger evolution of the Philippine. Peso itself, the peso traces its roots back to the Spanish colonial period, when silver pesos circulated widely across the Asia-Pacific trade network over centuries. The peso evolved into the national currency, and by the 1990s, the Piso coins were both a link to that legacy and a symbol of modern sovereignty. Thus, holding the 1995 1 Piso coin is like holding a chapter of a much larger narrative of colonial struggle, independence, economic growth, and national resilience for nearly 2 hours. One could dive into countless aspects of this coin: its engravers, its minting process, the role of the BSP in coin production, the distribution networks that brought it into circulation, the differences between coins produced at the Manila Mint and those produced abroad, the cultural meaning of carrying Rizal's image in one's pocket, the inflationary challenges of the 1990s that affected how much a peso could buy, and the eventual phasing out of the new design series in favor of newer designs reflecting further modernization and anti-counterfeiting technologies. Each of these topics adds depth and richness to the story of a simple coin. Ultimately, the 1995 1 Piso coin is far more than change rattling in your pocket. It is a gateway into Philippine history and identity, a piece of metal that has traveled through the hands of millions, carrying with it silent testimonies of commerce, struggle, pride, and resilience. Its story is layered with economics, politics, and culture-making. It is a subject worthy of long and detailed exploration. And for anyone who has ever wondered about the hidden value behind everyday objects, this coin offers proof that even the most ordinary items can tell extraordinary stories. The 1 Piso coin of 1995 is part of the Philippine New Design series, a family of coins that were first introduced in 1983 to replace older designs that had been in use for decades. The new series represented a new era for Philippine currency, and the 1 Peso coin became the most visible symbol of that change, because it was the denomination used most widely in everyday transactions. Every Filipino, whether in the provinces or in the cities, whether rich or poor, came across this coin. It passed through jeepney drivers. It was given as change in sari stores. It was used in bus fares and in countless daily purchases. In effect, it was not just a coin, but a representation of daily Filipino life. The figure of Jose Rizal on the obverse of the 1995 Piso coin was carefully chosen not just for aesthetic appeal, but for national symbolism. Rizal had long been considered the greatest national hero of the Philippines. His writings and ultimate sacrifice inspired the revolution against Spanish colonial rule. By placing his image on the 1 Piso coin, the government ensured that his legacy would remain present in the consciousness of the people every single day. Unlike a bill, which might be held only occasionally, coins were in constant use. They were held in the hands of students, commuters, vendors, and farmers. Rizal's face on the coin served as a unifying reminder of freedom, courage, and education values that remained highly relevant during the period of economic reform in the 1990s. The reverse side of the coin featured the official seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, which had been established in 1993 after replacing the old central bank. This was an important moment in Philippine monetary history. The BSP was given greater independence and broader powers in regulating the country's financial system and stabilizing its currency. The seal included in the coin's design marked a turning point. It indicated that the Philippine financial system was entering a modern phase that would carry the country through the challenges of globalization in the late 20th century. Thus, the 1995 1 Piso coin became one of the first widely circulated coins to carry this emblem, representing the authority and credibility of the new central bank in terms of composition. The 1995 Piso coin was struck in nickel-plated steel, which gave it a distinct silvery appearance and also made it durable. Earlier versions of the Piso were produced in copper-nickel, but the change to nickel-plated steel reflected the government's efforts to save on minting costs, while ensuring that the coins would last longer in circulation. This technical detail, while seemingly minor, reveals the practical challenges faced by monetary authorities, balancing cost-effectiveness with functionality and durability. The 1995 Piso measured 24 millimeters in diameter and weighed 35 grams, making it relatively small and convenient to carry compared to older, larger coins. Its edges were reeded, which helped deter counterfeiting and provided a tactile feel that made the coin easy to identify by touch alone. Such features may seem ordinary, but they were deliberate design choices intended to balance utility, security, and efficiency in mass circulation currency. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it could tell the story of an entire nation, if it could whisper the struggles of its people, the transformation of its economy, and the evolution of its identity? Then the one Piso coin of the year 2001 becomes far more than just a small piece of metal. It becomes a silent witness to the Philippines during a time of political uncertainty, economic transition, and cultural pride. The year 2001 was not simply another year in the long history of the archipelago. It was a year that carried weight. It was the year that saw the second EDSA People Power movement that changed the political direction of the country. It was a year of hope and uncertainty, and right in the pocket of every Filipino was a coin that symbolized the currency and resilience of the nation. The 1 Piso 2001 coin belonged to the new BSP series introduced in 1995 when the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas sought to modernize the Philippine currency and improve its security. Features: the coin was minted in nickel-plated steel, giving it a silver-white appearance that represented strength, durability, and modernization. It was smaller and lighter than the Piso coins of the past, making it more practical for daily circulation. And for millions of Filipinos, this single Piso coin represented the cost of jeepney rides, small market goods, and countless daily transactions that kept life moving in towns and cities across the country. On its obverse side, the coin features the bust of Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, whose face has graced countless denominations over the decades. Rizal's inclusion on the 1 Piso coin was more than symbolic. It was a reminder of the country's long struggle for independence and the importance of knowledge, reform, and sacrifice. Rizal's image was engraved with fine detail, capturing his dignified expression that stands as a reminder of national identity. Above him, the coin bears the inscription Republika ng Pilipinas. Affirming the sovereignty of the Filipino people. Beneath Rizal's portrait is the minting year 2001, etched to signify its origin in a year of transition. On the reverse side, the coin carries the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the very institution responsible for stabilizing the economy, protecting the currency, and maintaining trust in the financial system. The seal contains 3 stars and a sun, reflecting the same imagery as the national flag and affirming the unity of the nation. The central wheel and gear design reflects industry, trade, and progress, showing that the coin itself represents not just money, but the flow of work and production that sustains the archipelago. The historical context of 2001 adds deeper meaning to this coin. In January of that year, President Joseph Estrada was ousted through the Second EDSA Revolution, a movement that once again proved the power of people's voices and their demand for accountability. The change in leadership affected economic policies and social programs, and all the while, coins such as the 1 Piso 2001 circulated through the hands of ordinary citizens who felt the real effects of inflation, employment struggles, and shifts in governance. The coin is therefore not only a piece of currency but also a reflection of national resilience during uncertain times. From an economic perspective, the early 2000s were years of both challenge and adaptation. The Philippine peso was experiencing fluctuations against the US dollar, and inflation affected the purchasing power of the common people. In this environment, every peso mattered, and the small coin was no trivial object. It was a lifeline in the daily lives of families. It was what children used for snacks, students for transportation, and vendors for change. The coin was not simply money. It was a bridge between survival and livelihood, a connection between effort and reward. Numismatists and collectors today view the 1 Piso 2001 coin with growing interest. While it was once ordinary, its value has slowly risen, especially for coins preserved in mint or uncirculated condition. The mintage numbers were large because it was intended for mass circulation, but variations in condition, rarity, and errors such as misstrikes or double dies can significantly increase its value to collectors. Around the world, Filipino expatriates also keep these coins as mementos of home, reminding them of their roots and the struggles of their people during that era. Alloy composition of nickel-plated steel also reflected an important shift in Philippine coinage, moving away from more expensive metals and toward materials that were durable, cost-effective, and resistant to wear and tear. It meant the government could produce coins in larger quantities without draining resources, and this choice also mirrored global trends in coinage during the late 20th century and early 21st century. The 1 Piso 2001 coin also represents an evolution in the way nations express their identity through money. Coins are not only economic tools but also miniature artworks that communicate heritage values and priorities to both citizens and the outside world. When foreigners received Philippine coins in trade or travel, they carried with them the image of Jose Rizal and the national symbols, thus exporting a piece of Filipino pride. Over time, these coins have faded from circulation, as new series have been introduced, such as the new generation currency coin series beginning in 2018, which phased out the older coins. Yet for collectors, historians, and everyday Filipinos, the 1 Piso 2001 remains a nostalgic artifact of an era now past. It is the kind of coin that, when rediscovered in an old wallet, a forgotten drawer, or a relative's coin jar, brings back vivid memories of a different Philippines. The jeepney rides that cost just 1 Piso, the street foods that could be bought with a handful of these coins, the laughter and hardship of a people whose stories cannot be separated from the humble currency they used. To study the 1 Piso 2001 coin is therefore to study the Philippines itself, its economy, its culture, its struggles, and its resilience. A 2-hour journey into the story of this coin allows us to reflect not only on its design or composition, but on the world it represents and the people it touched. This is the story of a nation engraved in nickel-plated steel, a story of Rizal's enduring inspiration, a story of people, power in 2001, and a story of countless daily lives connected by a single coin. The 1 Piso 2001 is more than currency. It is history, memory, and national identity compressed into the palm of your hand. When you hold the 1 Piso coin minted in 2001, you are not only holding a piece of metal. You are holding a fragment of Philippine history, captured during a time of political change, economic challenges, and cultural resilience. The coin is small, light, and easily overlooked, yet it carries with it the weight of the nation's struggles and hopes. This particular coin belongs to the new BSP series, which was first issued in 1995 as part of an effort by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to modernize the nation's currency system. The decision to launch a new series came after years of inflation, economic reforms, and the demand for coins that were more practical, durable, and cost-efficient. The coin itself was minted in nickel-plated steel, chosen for its strength and resistance to corrosion. which allowed it to survive years of circulation across tropical climates, humid conditions, and the heavy usage it would endure in markets, public transport, and everyday transactions, unlike earlier Piso coins that were heavier or made of more expensive alloys. The 2001 coin was light silver white in color and easy to produce in large numbers. Its round shape measured 24 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge to distinguish it from smaller denominations. On its obverse face, the coin features a portrait of José Rizal, one of the most important figures in Philippine history. Rizal was not only a writer, but also a reformist thinker and a national hero who inspired Filipinos in their fight against colonial rule. His face engraved on the coin serves as a daily reminder of the ideals of education, knowledge, sacrifice, and freedom every time the coin was exchanged between hands. Rizal's legacy traveled with it, silently reinforcing the identity of the nation above Rizal's portrait. The inscription Republika ng Pilipinas proclaims the sovereignty of the country, while the year 2001 appears beneath his image, marking its specific time of minting. On the reverse side is the seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, symbolizing the institution that safeguards the economy, regulates the monetary system, and ensures financial stability. The seal contains 3 stars and a sun, echoing the national flag as a symbol of unity, freedom, and independence. Within the design lies a stylized wheel and gear representing progress movement and the role of industry in building the nation. This was more than decoration. It was an intentional reminder that money is not just currency, but also a symbol of national effort and productivity. Have you ever held a simple coin in your hand and wondered how much untold history and culture are locked inside that small piece of metal? The 2014 1 peso coin of the Philippines may appear like just an everyday circulating coin used for buying small goods in markets, paying bus fares, or passing through vending machines. But behind its creation lies a story of national identity, economic transformation, cultural pride, and modern challenges in coinage production. To understand the journey of the 2014 1 peso coin, we must go back to the roots of Philippine coinage, which stretch far before Spanish colonization, when barter was the primary means of trade. Seashells, rice beads, and gold pieces called piloncitos were exchanged until the Spaniards introduced the real coins in the 16th century. From then, the evolution of Philippine money reflected every shift in power, every wave of independence, and every symbol of nationhood. By the 20th century, after the Philippines achieved independence from the United States, the Central Bank of the Philippines, known as Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, took the responsibility of issuing national coins. And these coins were designed not only for practical trade, but also to reflect Filipino heroes' culture and national values. The story of the 2014 1 peso coin begins with the New Generation Currency Coin series, which was launched by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas in 2012 as part of its effort to modernize the coinage system, improve security features, reduce counterfeiting, and align the country's coins with international minting standards. The series included coins from the 5 centimo to the 10 peso, and the 2014 issue of the 1 peso coin became one of the most recognized and heavily used coins in circulation, designed in nickel-plated steel for durability. It was smaller, lighter, and shinier than its predecessors, making it easier to carry and distinct in vending and banking machines. The obverse side of the 2014 1 peso coin features the bust of José Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines, a writer, a doctor, a reformist, and a martyr who became the symbol of Philippine independence. His placement on the coin reflects not only his status as a hero, but also his timeless role as the embodiment of education, patriotism, and sacrifice. The reverse side carries the logo of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas encircled with the year of minting, proudly signifying that this coin was part of the Continuing heritage of national coinage, the design was simple, clean, and modern. Unlike earlier issues, which carried more elaborate designs, such as flora-fauna or older logos, the year 2014 itself was significant in Philippine coinage because it was a transitional period where the new generation currency coins were gradually being accepted by the public after initial complaints about size confusion and metallic composition. Yet despite criticisms, the coin became an essential part of daily Filipino life. With millions of pieces struck and released into circulation, 1 peso remained the cornerstone unit of small transactions, a symbol of affordability and accessibility across the nation. Whether in city malls or rural markets, the coin passed from hand to hand, silently playing its role in the lifeblood of the economy. Collectors view the 2014 1 peso coin with mixed interest, because while it is a modern circulation coin, it represents a short-lived design phase before further updates and redesigns by the Bangko Sentral. Its nickel-plated steel composition makes it resistant to corrosion, and its modern look gave it a sense of freshness compared to brass-colored earlier issues. For numismatists, the value of this coin lies not in rarity, but in its place. Within the continuous narrative of Philippine monetary evolution, it serves as a reference point between the older Flora and Fauna series coins of the 1980s and the newest coin series that was later introduced. In 2018, with even more modern features, beyond economics, the 2014 1 peso coin also reflects the Philippines' continuing challenge of maintaining public trust in its money coin hoarding machine. Incompatibility and even superstitions about coins often affect circulation, yet through all this, the 1 peso coin remained one of the most recognized everyday coins in the country. Each coin minted in 2014 tells the story of its time, a period of modernization of the Philippine banking system, an era of technological advancement in minting, and a stage in the national journey toward economic stability. If you trace back its use, the coin passed through the hands of millions of Filipinos, each transaction representing livelihoods and stories. It could be found in jeepney fares, in sari-sari stores, in school canteens, and in church offerings. Its simplicity belies its power as a connector of lives, communities, and traditions. And though small in value, it is mighty in cultural presence, for it carries the image of a national hero, the seal of the country's financial guardian, and the date that stamps it forever as part of Philippine history. So when you hold a 2014 1 peso coin, remember that you are holding not just a piece of metal, but a bridge between the past and the present, a record of national pride and a tool of everyday survival, from its roots in early barter trade to its creation in modern minting facilities and to its constant use in daily life. This coin is a storyteller in your palm. When we take a closer look at the 2014 1 peso coin, we must go deeper into the symbolism behind its design, because every choice on a coin, from the image of the hero to the placement of the text to the type of metal used, is deliberate and reflects both historical and practical purposes. The use of José Rizal on the obverse was not random. It was the result of decades of numismatic tradition and national reverence. Rizal had been featured on Philippine coins for many generations. His portrait first appeared on paper money during the American colonial period, and later on various coin issues, as the Philippine government sought to reinforce his role as the conscience of the nation. By 2014, continuing to feature him on the 1 peso coin was both a way of paying tribute and a method of making sure that every Filipino, young or old, rich or poor, would constantly be reminded of his sacrifice, because the 1 peso coin is the most frequently handled denomination. The reverse of the coin, which carries the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas logo, also deserves attention, because that logo itself underwent transformation over the years. Established in 1993, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas was designed to be independent and capable of managing monetary stability after the old Central Bank of the Philippines struggled with economic crises. The logo that appears on the 2014 coin has 3 stars and a sun, symbolizing the flag of the nation, and beneath it, the eagle representing strength, vision, and the ability to soar above challenges surrounding it are the words Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, which assert the authority of the institution in managing the nation's currency. The choice to feature this on the reverse of every coin beginning with the new generation currency series was intended to mark a modern era in Philippine banking. Now, the choice of nickel-plated steel for the 2014 1 peso coin also deserves a long discussion, because coin metallurgy is not just about appearance, but also cost and practicality. Earlier 1 peso coins were minted in copper-nickel or brass-plated steel, which were more expensive to produce as global metal prices rose. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, along with many world mints, sought cheaper and more durable alternatives. Nickel-plated steel proved to be resilient against wear and corrosion, while giving the coin a silvery sheen that distinguished it from other denominations. The smaller size and lighter weight also made it more cost-efficient to mint and easier to integrate with modern vending machines, ATMs, and coin counters. But despite the practicality of this new composition, Filipinos initially reacted with confusion and even resistance. Many people complained that the coin was too similar in appearance to the 5 peso coin of the same series, and this caused problems in daily transactions. Some even claimed that jeepney drivers, store vendors, and commuters would mistake one coin for another, creating disputes and small financial losses. This public dissatisfaction highlights how coins are not just economic tokens, they are cultural habits. Once people grow accustomed to the weight, color, and size of a coin, any change is seen as disruptive. Nevertheless, by 2014, circulation had stabilized, and the new 1 peso coin became firmly rooted in everyday transactions. From a numismatic perspective, the 2014 1 peso coin is not rare, but it is an important piece in building a complete set of the new generation currency coin series. Serious collectors recognize that modern coins, while common today, can become sought after in the future, especially if they represent a transitionary period, or if certain mint years become scarcer than others over time as coins are withdrawn from circulation or damaged. Fewer pristine examples remain, and those with high grade or uncirculated condition can fetch higher prices in the numismatic market. In fact, international collectors often seek out Philippine coins because they reflect a blend of Asian identity, Spanish colonial influence, American institutional legacy, and modern economic resilience, all encapsulated in one small piece. The historical context of 2014 in the Philippines also adds depth to this coin. The nation was experiencing steady economic growth following decades of political challenges. It was a time when remittances from overseas Filipino workers played a crucial role in stabilizing the economy, and the government was investing in infrastructure development, every transaction involving a 1 peso coin. Nation. This coin speaks of a nation's resilience of its people and the silent journey of currency through markets. Hands, generations, and forgotten drawers stay with us as we reveal the full life of the 1 peso 2002 coin, from its birth in the minting chambers to the rarest versions found today. This is not just a coin. This is a living archive of history, and you are about to witness every detail. In the early years of the 21st century, the Philippines stood at a crossroads, politically, economically, and culturally. The world was moving fast. The global economy was shifting. Alliances were changing. And in the heart of Southeast Asia, the Philippine archipelago was facing its own internal transitions, and this period saw the continuation of a national identity carved into its currency, especially the 1 peso coin of 2002. This coin was more than just metal. It was a symbol of value, trust, and everyday survival for millions of Filipinos. Minted by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the 1 peso coin of 2002 became a staple in daily transactions. It was made of nickel-plated steel, a change from earlier compositions designed to extend the coin's life, reduce production costs, and resist corrosion. As the Philippines adapted to modern minting technologies, the 2002 peso reflected this evolution. Its durability and weight became markers of a new era in Filipino coinage. On the obverse side of the 2002 1 peso coin stands the bold image of the national hero Jose Rizal, his gaze focused forward, symbolizing vision, courage, and patriotism. His name inscribed in capital letters became a reminder of sacrifice and hope for a stronger Philippines. The year 2002, engraved at the bottom, marked the beginning of the coin's journey through markets, sari-sari stores, jeepney fairs, and beyond it, became a silent witness to everyday life across the islands. The reverse side bore the official seal of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, established in 1993 with its iconic 3 stars and a sun symbolizing unity, freedom, and sovereignty. The presence of this seal on the coin reinforced trust in the national currency and promoted a strong economic identity. The simple yet powerful design choices made the 1 peso coin easy to identify, functional, and widely accepted in all types of transactions, from buying a piece of candy to giving exact fare on a bus. What makes the 2002 version particularly interesting to collectors today is not just its age, but the variations in minting over time. Some coins from this batch were struck more cleanly than others. Some may show rare die errors or striking anomalies that increase their value in numismatic. Circles coins with off-centered strikes double dies, or rotated designs are considered collectible and in rare cases highly valuable depending on condition, rarity, and demand. This period in coin production also marked a crucial time when counterfeiting concerns led to tighter control over coin standards. The 2002 1 peso coin had to meet strict specifications for diameter, thickness, edge reading, and weight, typically around 6 grams with a diameter of 23 millimeters. These details are critical to identifying genuine specimens and distinguishing them from lower quality copies or tokens. Collectors often examine coins under magnification, looking for minor details that separate ordinary circulation coins from rare variants. The presence of die cracks, planche flaws, and minting irregularities can turn an everyday coin into a sought-after piece, and the 1 peso, 2002 coin is no exception. Every scratch, tone, or blemish tells part of its story. Every flaw adds to its personality. The 1 peso coin also serves as a window into the Philippine economy. During the early 2000s, inflation, trade, and local purchasing power all influenced how coins circulated and how often they were minted. Coin production numbers tell us which years had higher demand and which saw shortages. 2002 had a moderate minting volume, which means, while it is not the rarest date in the series, it holds historical weight and remains a crucial year for the modern peso series. As we explore deeper, we uncover stories of coin hoarding, public reactions to coin redesigns, and the ongoing debate about phasing out smaller denominations for cost efficiency. The 1 peso coin of 2002 sat at the center of this evolving conversation. It remained stable, widely used, and respected, even as smaller denominations like the 5 and 10 centavo coins faded from daily use. In collector markets today, the 1 peso 2002 coin can fetch varying prices depending on condition. Those in uncirculated or mint state condition, with no scratches, sharp rims, and full luster, are valued higher. Some specimens graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC can go for several dollars or more, especially if they show rare traits. Meanwhile, circulated examples may be worth just face value, but still hold interest for beginner collectors. Continue this journey with a detailed breakdown of grading systems, coin condition categories, proper storage techniques, market trends, auction results, and even interviews with coin experts who discuss how the 2002 1 peso fits into the broader world of global numismatics. The 2-hour deep dive will not only honor this humble coin, but help collectors, historians, and viewers appreciate its full legacy. Now let us dive deeper into how the coin compares with other versions minted. In nearby years, the 1 Piso series from the early 2000s maintained a relatively consistent design, but subtle changes in font spacing alignment and surface finish help specialists date and verify coins more accurately. The 2002 version in particular often carries a slightly stronger strike than its 2001 predecessor and is considered more balanced in terms of weight and wear resistance. Additionally, the global context of coinage in 2002 shows how nations around the world were experimenting with similar materials and minting strategies. Countries like Canada, Malaysia, and Mexico were also using nickel-plated steel and improving their minting accuracy to reduce cost and prevent wear. The Philippines was part of this broader movement, making the 1 Piso coin a representative of global economic adaptation in the early 21st century. We must also mention the role of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas as an institution of monetary authority. The bank has the power to redesign, recall, and replace currency, and in 2002, they made clear efforts to keep coins modern, durable, and efficient, while preserving national pride and trust in the currency. The 1 Piso coin was never just a tool for trade, it was a symbol of financial order, a representation of government responsibility and public reliance. Collectors today often build full-year sets of 1 Piso coins, tracking every variation across decades. Some create custom albums for display, while others pursue high-grade certification for resale or legacy building. This passion for preserving coinage is not just about profit. It is about storytelling heritage and a tangible connection to the past. Continue with us as we explore the market landscape, the trends of online auctions and social media groups where Filipino and international collectors trade, discuss, and celebrate these coins. We will cover how grading fees affect value, how to ship coins safely, how to verify authenticity, and how to distinguish between genuine mint errors and damage from circulation. Stay with this video as we break down coin anatomy, including fields, rims, edges, devices, and legends, so that even beginner collectors can learn how to identify coin quality and hidden gems. We will also share tips from veteran collectors on cleaning, storage, and long-term preservation without damaging the original coin surface. And finally, we will touch on the future of coins, like the 1 Piso of 2002, as digital payments grow and mobile wallets become more common. Physical coins may see reduced circulation, but their cultural and collectible value continues to rise for those who understand their importance. The 1 Piso coin is not fading into history, it is becoming a legacy. Overlook, but which numismatists now regard as a key to understanding modern coin transitions, political symbolism, and rare value convergence. The 1 Piso coin of 1996 is more than just currency. It is history engraved in metal, shaped by power, driven by change, and molded under the legacy of two republics, with one vision: economic independence and national identity. To understand this coin, we must journey back, not only to 1996, but also to the origins of the Philippine currency system. We look at the American colonial period when the U.S. first introduced centralized minting systems to the islands. This influence lasted decades, affecting the designs, alloys, sizes, and language on coins. The 1 Piso denomination was born in this backdrop and grew under multiple political transformations, including independence from the United States and post-war economic restructuring. By 1996, the Philippines had already released several versions of the Piso coin, but the 1996 variant stands out for one major reason: it was one of the final coins to feature the classic design of Jose Rizal, facing left with the inscription Republika ng Pilipinas, before a shift in metallic composition and imagery was introduced in later years. The design of the 1996 coin is rooted in national symbolism. Rizal represents the intellectual spirit and revolutionary soul of the Filipino people, and having his profile on the coin during this year carried deep meaning, especially in the lead-up to the centennial of Philippine independence in 1998. The coin was minted in copper nickel and has a diameter of 24 millimeters and a weight of 5.35 grams. Its reverse side features the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas logo, a powerful mark that signifies economic authority and national monetary policy. What's fascinating is that the 1996 coin was produced at a time when coin quality and consistency were under scrutiny, leading to multiple varieties and minor errors, which now attract collectors who understand the hidden value of anomalies. In-depth analysis reveals three major areas that make the 1996 1 peso coin special rarity mintage context and collector impact. The mintage figures of this coin are relatively high, with tens of millions in circulation, yet not all coins survived due to the melting down of coins with higher metal value than face value and the shift towards smaller, lighter bimetallic coins. In the early 2000s, many coins of this era, including the 1996 version, were either withdrawn from circulation, lost, or degraded due to climate conditions making high-grade specimens extremely desirable among collectors. Error coins from 1996 are another vital focus. These include off-center strikes, doubled dies weak strikes, rim clipping, and misaligned dies, which are not just technical flaws, but artistic accidents. Each of them gives the coin a unique fingerprint, making it a one-of-a-kind piece in the world of numismatics. For example, the most sought-after 1996 1 peso error coin is the double strike, which gives the illusion of a ghost image on either side of the coin and sells for hundreds of dollars depending on condition. We also look at the role of the 1996 coin in currency transition. The Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas was reformed in 1993, but it took a few years to standardize and modernize the coinage system. By 1996, the central bank had started experimenting with design security and alloy composition strategies that would eventually lead to the new generation currency coin series, which would change the look and feel of the Piso coin forever. Thus, the 1996 coin represents the tail end of an era, and collectors often classify it as the last true traditional 1 peso before the modern bimetallic designs took over in 2017. Now we dive into the collector's market. The value of a circulated 1996 1 peso coin ranges from face value to about $1 to $2, depending on where. However, uncirculated and error coins fetch significantly more, especially those graded by PCGS or NGC in MS65 or higher A coin with a perfect strike-clean surface and sharp rim can attract bids from collectors across Asia, Europe, and North America, especially if it includes provenance, such as being part of an old central bank vault or private collection. We also explore regional numismatic events where the 1996 peso plays a surprising role in auctions for Southeast Asian currency. The coin is often used as a benchmark to compare circulation quality across years. Some regional collectors from Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore actively pursue this coin, not only for its beauty, but also because it fits a larger narrative of post-colonial currency development in ASEAN. Beyond physical properties and market value, the 1996 1 peso coin has cultural depth. It was used in countless transactions, from public jeepneys to street vendors, school lunches to church donations. This coin passed through the hands of millions, each carrying memories and stories, making each surviving coin a vessel of lived experience. The coin is a storyteller, and those who study it are listening not just with eyes, but with insight, curiosity, and respect. We then review public reactions to the demonetization of coins like the 1996 peso. When they were eventually removed from legal tender status, the move sparked nostalgia and frustration among older generations who felt these coins held sentimental value beyond monetary worth. This emotion added an extra layer of reverence to the coin's legacy, making it not just metal but memory, frozen in time. As we approach the end of this journey, we realize the 1996 1 peso coin was never just an object. It was a mirror of a nation in transition. It reflects the pressures of modern economy, the beauty of national pride, and the ongoing story of what money really means when it becomes a legacy. Today, the coin remains a favorite among those who understand its place in history, a bridge between past and future tradition and innovation. For those who own the 1996 1 peso coin, you're not just holding currency, you're holding the past of a nation, the pride of a people, and a collector's treasure waiting to be preserved, respected, and passed on. This story will change how you see loose change forever. The year was 1999, a pivotal moment in the numismatic history of the Philippines and beyond. As collectors turned their eyes toward Southeast Asia, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas was steadily advancing into a new era of coinage, and the 1 peso coin stood at the center of that evolution. The 1999 1 peso coin carries with it a story wrapped in history, tradition, national identity, and the subtle transitions that define an entire monetary era. The 1 peso coin minted in 1999 is part of the BSP series, more formally known as the new BSP series, launched after the demonetization of the Flora and Fauna series that had run its course throughout the 1980s and 1990s. The Flora and Fauna series featured rich Filipino biodiversity. But times were changing, and the demand for more modern, durable, and efficient coinage systems gave birth to a new design direction. This new direction was embodied by a simple yet powerful approach to coin design, functionality, and production efficiency. The 1 peso coin of 1999 features on its obverse the image of Jose Rizal, the Philippine national hero whose image symbolizes Filipino intellect, courage, resistance, and sacrifice. He remains one of the most important icons in the country's long and complex journey to independence and sovereignty. Jose Rizal's image on the coin was more than just a tribute. It was a statement about identity, nationalism, and educational progress. His firm gaze, chiseled features, and clean presentation offered a sense of strength and resolve that the nation continued to uphold. The name Jose Rizal is inscribed on the left with the mint year 1999 at the bottom. On the reverse side, the coin features the logo of the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, introduced in 1993 when the central bank was reorganized under the new Central Bank Act, also known as Republic Act 7653. This new logo was not just a graphic change. It marked a major financial reform era for the Philippines. The presence of this logo on the 1999 1 peso coin is crucial because it highlights a major institutional shift in the country's monetary policy and currency production strategies. The coin was made of nickel-plated steel, a sturdy metal combination that allowed for higher durability in circulation. This material choice reflected the practical economic considerations of the time, where high inflation in previous years and rising metal costs made brass or pure copper alloys less viable for mass production. The diameter of the coin was set at 24 millimeters with a thickness of 1.85 millimeters and a mass of approximately 5.35 grams. The edge was reeded, a feature that has long served both aesthetic and security purposes, making it harder to counterfeit and easier to authenticate by feel. The 1999 1 peso coin circulated widely in the local market. It became a part of everyday life, from jeepney fare payments to sari-sari store purchases. Yet as years passed, many of these coins disappeared from active circulation, worn out, lost, or hoarded by early collectors. Looking ahead, the coin was quietly replaced by newer versions in the succeeding New Generation Currency series launched in the 2010s. This transition phased out many of the earlier BSP series coins, and the 1999 1 peso started to become increasingly rare. What makes this coin particularly interesting to collectors is not just its design or era, but its position in the timeline of coin transitions. It represents a shift from older nationalistic imagery to more institutional representations from flora and fauna to people and policy. The 1999 1 Piso coin is often examined by collectors for mint errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, planche flaws, and weak edges. These minting anomalies are highly prized in the numismatic world, and some 1999 1 Piso error coins have fetched high values on collector markets, particularly if they remain in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition. Packaging errors and coins found sealed in original BSP rolls or bank bags are also valued much higher than average specimens. The coin's value in today's collector market depends heavily on three key factors: condition, rarity, and demand. A coin in poor condition might only be worth face value, while one in mint condition or with certified mint errors could be worth several dollars or more among Filipino communities abroad, particularly in the United States, Canada, and the Middle East. Old Piso coins, like the 1999 version, carry both sentimental and monetary value, as these coins represent a piece of their homeland. Many overseas Filipinos seek them out, not just as collectibles, but as heritage tokens, often gifting them to younger generations as part of cultural storytelling in numismatic circles. The 1999 1 Piso coin holds a fascinating position as a bridge coin. It is not the earliest of the BSP coins nor the rarest, but it sits on the edge of change, making it essential for collectors looking to complete the transitional timeline of modern Philippine coinage. It bridges 2 centuries, 2 monetary policies, and 2 national visions. For some, the coin is a symbol of stability and economic reform. For others, it is a nostalgic reminder of the late 1990s and early 2000s, when life was shifting toward globalization and digitization. This is also reflected in the changing way Filipinos interacted with money, from physical to digital, from coins to cards, from cash to apps. The 1999 1 Piso coin reminds us of that moment before everything changed in terms of production numbers. The BSP has not released exact mintage figures for every year of the BSP coin series, but estimates suggest the 1999 1 Piso had a moderate production run, not the lowest but also not as common as the peak years of early 2000s. This makes it an interesting candidate for study and collection, especially in higher grades. Some collectors specifically look for the year 1999 to complete their decade collection or to pair with significant personal events like birth years, anniversaries, or important milestones. The numismatic value of this coin also ties into the legacy of José Rizal, whose writings, particularly Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, are still required reading in Filipino schools. His representation on coins has always been symbolic and meaningful, but the 1999 1 Piso continues to be one of the last circulating coins to honor him before newer designs phased out his image. This adds an extra layer of historical and cultural richness for those who seek depth in their collections. This coin is also frequently used in coin jewelry, as its size and image lend well to creative expressions of patriotism, art, and design. A number of Filipino designers use old Piso coins in pendants, bracelets, and keychains, bringing new life to old currency in creative and unexpected ways. In coin grading terms, collectors often seek MS-60 or higher examples from the 1999 batch slabbed coins, graded by organizations like NGC or PCGS. Holds significantly more value and can even attract international buyers. Rare varieties or error coins in these grades have been known to sell for over $10 to $15 or more in top condition. While this may seem modest in the world of coins, it is a strong increase over face value and shows growing demand for regional numismatics globally. Coin shows held in Manila, Cebu, and Davao regularly feature stalls or traders offering classic Piso coins, and the 1999 issue is often discussed as a solid entry point for beginner collectors because of its transitional importance and rich background. Social media and YouTube have also fueled a resurgence in interest around coins like the 1999 one Piso, with channels showcasing pocket finds, hidden gems, and coin collecting tips. Many young Filipinos are rediscovering the value of coins that were once in their pockets, as children learning how to identify rare features, understand coin grading, and even start online businesses around numismatics. The 1999 one Piso coin thus lives on not only in coin albums and jewelry boxes, but in stories, communities, and educational platforms worldwide. It is more than just currency. It is a piece of national memory. A coin with character and context, a humble but significant artifact from a time not so far behind, yet full of stories that need to be told.